Last Jedi is the 8th installment in the Skywalker saga series. 3 in this Disney era that we have had already: The Force Awakens, Rogue One, The Last Jedi now, which has the cast members that you know and love. Mark Hamill back as the incredible Luke Skywalker. Carrie Fisher giving her final but really well-deserved performance as Princess Leia. The new cast members that you might have grown depending on how you love them in The Force Awakens, with Daisy Ridley's Rey, Adam Driver's Kylo Ren, Oscar Isaac's Poe Dameron, John Boyega's Finn, with also more new additional characters. And now this follows, right after The Force Awakens, Rey and Luke, they're on a literal cliffhanger. Will Luke train Rey? They have kind of defeated at least the First Order with Starkiller Base, but now Supreme Leader Snoke and Kylo Ren are trying to get the Resistance back. And now this is the chapter where you get all the characters, get them through some tough times, see them evolve from their characters, see, who we get to truly see who they are. And this one could have gone so many ways. Could have this been a rehash of Empire Strikes Back? How much was it going to echo from that movie? Can it stand on its own? People, controversial thoughts as to The Force Awakens is like A New Hope. So how could this one really balance it all out? How can The Last Jedi prove this is something really refreshing? Rian Johnson bringing in as the choice for this movie, I thought was interesting. This was a while back, so now I kind of want to see, how could he do different from J.J. Abrams? And now that we got this film, now that we're getting closer to it, I was liking how everything was set. I thought, Rian Johnson could bring this new, fresh take to Star Wars. I had believed in him because of his work from Brick, Looper, Breaking Bad. He had enough to make me prove that he could bring something different. And overall, as what we got from Star Wars The Last Jedi, I'd say, though, yes. What a very different and ballsy Star Wars movie. Seriously. Ooh. This was something that when I came out, I applauded as a Star Wars fan that I am, as you guys already obviously know. But after, it really did get me thinking, wow. It made me be stunned in my seat. I had to kind of digest this. And then after I came out, I kept thinking about it. I was like, yes, this is something that I haven't really seen from any of the other Star Wars movies. But then the more I thought about it, saw it Thursday night, the more I marinated this with a couple of more viewings I gave it. I honestly did really like this movie. I really did. I appreciate it. I thought it was, like I said, very different. I got things that I could have thought were predictable, but then it took a left turn, and it might have had moments sprinkled from the original trilogy, but they try to turn it on its head. And seeing the characters evolve, as I thought, was really something different. Not something what I really expect, at least for the majority of them. And also seeing a character in the last one kind of be different in this one. So all that, and the scenes, the climactic scenes that we got, very refreshingly different. I kind of did like it. Made me realize a little bit more what was going on after a while, but what I got was really awesome. And there was some parts, not every movie is perfect, that I thought had flaws or criticisms. And I'm just going to start off with the characters. Mark Hamill, great as always. It's good seeing him back as Luke Skywalker. You were wondering, how he was thinking after The Force Awakens, seeing him who he is now. So much baggage that's in him. You can see that he's still that lovable Luke from the original trilogy, but he has so much going on him. The responsibilities that he has, because he's this hero, he's this Superman-like character in this world, and seeing him kind of have all those responsibilities, taking under his wing some of his relatives, like his nephew Ben Solo, Kylo Ren, seeing his arc, the way he has so much carrying from not only his Skywalker blood but his Solo blood, seeing the effects from The Force Awakens to this now, trying to make himself more of his own character. Like those two characters, you feel so much from the Skywalkers that they have so much weight going on for different reasons, have some points of view that are kind of similar but going on different directions. And Kylo Ren, as I admitted, he's one of my favorite characters. So seeing him kind of evolved a little bit more in this really made me real happy. I'm so excited to be wearing this shirt, honestly. And They were some of the standouts. I really did like their performances as well. Daisy Ridley as Rey, really good. Kind of want to know why she was powerful. I like how they kind of answer some things here that, she wasn't just powerful for powerful in the other one. This one they're trying to solve why is she like that. She sells as a person that trying to get answers. Feels like that there's not a lot of people paying attention to her in this world and trying to get as much as she can out of it. She she is very heroic when she needs to be. She she has this driving force for her character that she's trying to get something out of it. Carrie Fisher, John Boyega, and Oscar Isaac also give good performances. It's great seeing Carrie Fisher back. Give one more final performance as Leia, showing that she is the leader of this resistance now, taking real control. Just just a final good performance from her behalf. And John Boyega and Oscar Isaac also characters that are trying to kind of evolve also from The Force Awakens, like having Finn kind of not just be too obsessed with Rey, but trying to find other things, trying to show that there's another purpose for him in this galaxy. Poe Dameron taking kind of like a different take, what you expect. Just this kind of guy, cocky boy that is really good at flying, but then also has to realize that there is more to it, that it's not just him, that he needs to think about others as well. And overall, yeah, these characters, they go through their Empire Strikes Back. Everybody has their own missions that they have to accomplish. Rian Johnson is trying to balance all what their story arcs are. And the storylines, I'd say some of them were better than others. Some of them I thought were some of the best. It was intriguing, like Luke and Rey trying to train her, trying to see, what they really want, why they're here, their purpose in this galaxy. It's just some awesome visuals in Octo 2 as well. Whether they, are on the same page training or when they're kind of disagreeing a bit. Just some beautiful imagery going on. There's some storylines, like Finn's storyline. I understood why they had it. It really wasn't my favorite. It was great seeing Cantino by, but I thought it was very too perfect for this kind of Star Wars that we are now. Kind of reminisce a little bit of the prequels. I like that, but kind of wish we made it a little bit more grittier. But Finn and Rose's chemistry, it was adorable. I liked it. It's like a little kind of crush. I could see them actually being like these real life people. These are kind of some of the people that represent us that don't have these force abilities, but they're trying to make something different in this galaxy, trying to take a stand, and that was really good. Poe Dameron with Leia and Poe Dameron, I like that kind of just mother son kind of like, I'm trying to teach you, give you the keys to this, but you need to kind of learn, kind of like Iron Man and Spider-Man is like, I want to pass on the torch to you, but you got to kind of earn for it. And seeing also the space battles they've gone through, really awesome. I like how Rian Johnson directed some of these, added his unique visual flair to it, and seeing the stories at least go back and forth, really good. I would say sometimes some of the cuts back and forth kind of felt like the editing was a little bit off, like it sometimes it felt nice, and at least I knew where we were going with each change, but it kind of at sometimes didn't know how to officially cut it, and you can tell this is a 2 hour 30-minute movie. It feels like there should have been a little bit more scenes into this film that they kind of needed to cut. Those little things I could kind of brush off a bit, but I kind of find it a little bit noticeable just how they put this movie structured, and how I felt like there was a little piece before this official scene was put on the screen. So kind of some editing issues, like the way they kind of did that, I felt really weren't noticeable to me. But overall, I was able to keep in line where we were in Octo 2, and then where we were with Leia and Poe, and then eventually we got to the crate. And what a beautiful crate. Like, the planet is very nice. I like the red that it has, the salt. It's kind of like a Hoth feel, but very different. And emotionally what works in that movie at that part also really does pay off. And then the scenes that you'd have with like Kylo and Rey, seeing them kind of try to balance something, trying to see if they can agree to something with the light side, the dark side, kind of getting together. And then Supreme Leader Snoke, really done, really effective. It shows why he was powerful. And then when they kind of all get together, that's some of my favorite moments in this movie, possibly in my top 10 Star Wars moments. I gotta see. But it was very fun kind of seeing just it take itself on a different course, seeing the visuals and the certain scenes that they would be in, very it really kind of made my jaw like surprise. I couldn't believe what was going on, and it had so much emotion writing. It really was a kind of good, just a kind of conclusion. But even though we still have one more chapter, it felt good kind of getting Rey and Kylo's stories into this, and then seeing who they would become as characters. That was a really good way to kind of just expand more on them, see who we are, see how much we're gonna care for them in episode 9. So honestly, also just because some like editing issues and really the pacing and how we have to give so much screen time to everybody, just kind of felt like the 2 hours and 30 minutes really kind of made the movie suffer a bit. And knowing it could have been longer, they kind of had to cut it. But it really wasn't that much of a bad movie. Like at least they had kind of a cohesive kind of story going through it. And yes, some storylines kind of were at best okay, but other ones were really, for me, just really visually amazing, emotionally really affected. I'm gonna have to give Star Wars: The Last Jedi an A. I understand how people might feel for this movie, whether they loved it, whether they hated it. It is a very different Star Wars movie, and I kind of knew what I was going to with Rian Johnson. Just because something does take its risk doesn't mean that it could be a good film. But a lot of those risks that they took, I did really like it. I related to it. I enjoy just seeing those kind of change ups in the Star Wars universe. Some, not all of them, did land for me. And this movie, I feel like will get better with more viewings. But I understand if someone just sees it once, doesn't like it. I understand if someone likes it and then goes and sees it more and really appreciates how this movie is. So let me know, guys, what you thought of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I understand. Give me all your negative criticisms. Give me all your positive criticisms. Just please, let's do it in a very respectable manner. Okay, somewhere we debate. I welcome debate into this comment section for this video. So go ahead, guys. Let me know what you thought. And as always, Roland Empire, laugh, smile, repeat.